Perfect. My recorder is joining from Fathom as well. You guys can see Charles's Fathom note taker. So good stuff. Good stuff. Everyone, welcome. This thing just dropped on Monday, and Chris and I got some classes around this thing. I think it was like an hour-long class that we both attended. So they were like, all right, we wanted to show leadership first, and then eventually we'll show the team. And we were like, let's go take this class, and then we'll teach the team before they get this video out. So Chris and I are excited to go through this with you guys. And there's been a lot of cool updates that have been made. So as we're going through this, hopefully you guys are excited about it. Hopefully you guys are wanting to run this thing. And Chris will be making sure that he's dropping his link in there for you guys to jump onto his calendar. If you're like, hey, I want to run this, let's get this thing set up. I missed a step. Can you show me how to do it? So super, super excited for all these things. There it is. Chris just dropped it in his calendar link. So as we're going through this thing, there we go. Chris, you want to say anything before we get rolling?
No, I mean, I just think it's super exciting. They've completely
Yeah.
revamped the entire paid ads
Mhm.
experience. And on top of that, they listened to us with some of the issues from the previous ads. So as we go through it, you'll notice some things that you might have found frustrating with the previous ad experience that we now have the ability to do with these paid ads. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, guys, so this is what we're gonna do. I feel like Chris has his virtual background on, so I feel like I should have one as well. So there we are. All right, let's get this thing started. Let's get moving. All right, so guys, very first thing, right, as we look on here, this is command. This is agent.kw.com. This is our command CRM. And if we click on the big red square here, these are all of our applets. And as we're looking through today, the conversation is around campaigns. So we click on the campaigns, and a couple quick things that pop up. Firstly, they're like, hey, we have a new and better experience for paid ads with command. And you know what, that's what we're here to talk about. But if through all this conversation, if there is something else that you are needing more information about, feel free to click to learn more. Obviously, utilize Chris. That is one of the big reasons why we have Chris is for this very reason. So we're not having to watch videos, like we actually have a real person to talk to. So on the top right-hand corner, right here, you see create campaign. That's where we are going. And it is about paid campaigns today. So we're gonna go do a paid ad. And for anyone that's played around this thing, what you're gonna notice is this thing looks way different. So Chris, I mean, what was the thought process? Like they rolled this thing out, and back in the day, we were able to choose like, am I looking for Facebook? Am I looking for Instagram? Am I looking for Twitter? Now, kind of what have they done for this? Like, what is the overall thought process?
they've made it a lot easier to release these ads on multiple channels.
Mhm.
And as we get into it too, multiple locations rather than just one location. So they've kind of combined it and I would say made it a little simpler.
Yeah,
As far as when you're trying to create these ads and get it across so that you can get it across more people or more channels easier rather than having to do multiple ads like we used to have to do.
yeah, absolutely. So, guys, this is what you're looking at right now. We have listings. We have listings with multiple images. We have a multiple image carousel. We have non-listings. We have attract sellers, attract buyers. We have a recruiting thing. Hey, I'm running a team. I need to start a recruiting ad. Attract sellers on Google, attract buyers on Google, or I'm throwing some money and I want you to divvy it up between Facebook, Instagram, and Google. Guys, this is pretty neat. And so these two Google, these are AdWords, and this is the Google Suite. And so as you're thinking about the Google Suite, I want you to think about like when you've been on a website before, and on the right-hand corner, there's ads that are going across it. That is this. And so let's start off with multiple listings. And so what I want you guys to notice is this. It has Facebook and Instagram. This is going all the way across Meta. So we're not saying I want it on Facebook. We're not saying I want it on Instagram. We're saying, hey, Facebook, Meta Universe, Zuckerberg, I trust you to actually, with our partnership, we have an industry exclusive partnership with Facebook. We are the only brokerage in the United States where Facebook is actually has access to our CRM and is actually helping us run ads. And so let's touch this one. Let's go multiple listing, multiple image carousel. So we click on that and you can see again, this thing looks way different. So when you guys go in the first time jumping into this thing, what you're going to notice is you're going to have to reset up everything. And it's pretty easy. And I would start this way, like just log into this and it's going to say Facebook not connected. And I just want you to go through the prompter. Like it's going to be a plug and click kind of thing. It's going to jump into Facebook. You're going to say, put this account. It's going to have all the pages that you run. And you're going to say, give command access to these pages. Chris, do you have anything, any other pieces around that?
I would say that is going to be the easiest way, and don't do what I did, which is exit out of the prompt the first time it pops up, because it doesn't pop up again. So then I had to do digging around how to get back to figure out how to do it, which it's actually very simple. You just have to click on the Facebook pages on the left-hand side there, and then you'll be able to connect your account from there, and it'll bring you over to the Meta Business Suite or whatever. And but yes, follow the prompts. That'll make your life a whole lot easier as you're first doing this the first time.
Perfect. So there's your first pro tip. Go through the prompts and just do the work. Don't say that, hey, like I'll do this later. While it's easy to figure out, just knock it out. It's pretty quick and pretty painless.
Yeah, I
So
got too excited to see the ads. So
yeah, like show me the good stuff.
Yep.
So the very first thing, right, is this Facebook page. And so this one is already linked with mine. And so it's Absolute Home Group is what's in there. And you guys can see that like on the right-hand side, it's saying that this is going to be a sponsored ad through Absolute Home Group. And I could link new pages if I wanted to go through here and add these. The second thing is we can go to listings. And so what we're doing is we are running a listing ad specifically, and we're going to do a carousel. So we are going to put in multiple listings on this thing. So we pull it up and here it is. It says select listings. This is neat because this used to be super painful, right? I remember going into this and I would say like, go to Arvada, and it would be pulling Arvada Street. It would be pulling cities. It would be anything that had Arvada as a keyword, it would just pull it up. And even if it didn't have Arvada as a keyword, it would still pull it up, which I don't get.
Yep.
So here's where you can actually say like search column. So I can say search it by address, search it by city. If we're going to go into county or country, listing agent, neighborhood, postal code. And so for the point of this today, I'm going to go to listing office name because I don't have any listings right now. So let's go here. Let's go Keller Williams Avenues Realty. All right, perfect. This has pulled up every listing that is in our brokerage currently that is active. And some of these things that you're going to see is you're going to see two Greeleys, right? And you're just like, well, why? Well, we have IRAs and we have PPAR and we have RE Colorado. And this one's obviously an IRAs and RE Colorado. So that's why it's popping up twice. So you can see, like, you can scroll through, it has the address, the city, the availability, they're all for sale. Depending on what is syndicating off of the MLSs is going to have all this information. So obviously the price, the listing agent, you're going to go through, it has the, school district, county, postal, like all the fun stuff. There's the listing URLs. Then we're going through and the listing office name. Cool. So that's how we dive into this. And again, you can go by co-listing agent, listing agent. So if you just want to do your own, right? So let's say it's Lantern Home Group, or let's say it's AN Homes, and we have multiple listings and we want to advertise them all, then I'm probably just going to go pick my own name and go through it. But we're going to go listing office. Again, Keller Williams Avenues Realty. There they all are. If I were to scroll down, it says I can load more. I'm just going to load a couple in here. A couple load more. I think we have like 30 something listings in our brokerage right now. Minimum, we have to select 3. Maximum, we're allowed to select 10. So let's just say I've called the agents. Let's say I don't have any listings. And I called all the agents in my brokerage around Arvada. I'm like, hey, would it be cool if I try to find you a buyer? I know homes are sitting for a little bit longer. Would it be okay if I advertised your listing on Facebook? And obviously the listings agent's like, yeah, rock and roll. Like my seller's looking for an offer. So let's go through it. I'm just going to grab the Arvada ones. Maybe I'm going to do an Arvada ad. We're going through. We're just grabbing some Arvada listings. Some of you guys are like, oh yeah, Charlie, that's my listing. Get that thing sold, right? So we're at 8, 9, 10. Boom, we're at the maximum that we can do. Now we click done. So you can see these are all the listings that we have pulled up now. And here it is in a carousel. And so this is just a preview. It's not going to be 100% accurate, right? You can see that it's kind of like sideways a little bit, but this is going to give you a general idea. And you can see they didn't even all have all 10 in there, but that's what it's going to have. All 10 properties, they can swipe through them and you got a bunch of pretty houses and rock and roll. Now, we can say keep it in the listing location, or we can move it to a custom location. This is what's neat. If you do custom location, you can choose up to 10 locations by zip code or city. So you may want to go through and you may say Arvada, Westminster, Wheat Ridge, Broomfield, or you might be hitting zip codes. Maybe you want to get super hyper local, and this goes for anything. So let's just say I want Arvada. I go in, here's Arvada for Colorado, Arvada, Colorado. And I say, maybe I just want it in like a 20, 30, up to 50-mile radius around Arvada, Colorado. What you could also do is maybe you want to go through and look to see what the top 10 cities moving into Colorado are, right? Like you're going through and we have that availability, and Chris can obviously show you that if you schedule a one-on-one with him and you're like, these are the top 10 markets that are moving in, and I want to put my listings out in front of them as well. So we're going through, I'm picking this. Then this is where it gets pretty cool. Text. You can see it says headline is the address. Maybe I want to switch that out because it, right? You can see it's already doing that. Maybe that's all I want. I want the address in there, and I can switch it. And you guys can see I can click on this thing and I can say put emojis in, or I can say AI. So we have the ability to change the style: artistic, practical, vibrant, caring, emotional. And then we can say, hey, AI, make a suggestion. This is my warning to you. And let's see if we can make it happen. So let's go emotional, because that's me. Emotional. Look, safe and secure home in prime location. Move-in ready home in Arvada, 313. And guys, this is going to move around, right? Square foot, and it's going to move with what is happening in here, right? Again, amazing Arvada home, totally remodeled and made to move in, right? These are different things that are going through. I haven't been able to do what I was hoping it would do. The single family is okay, right? Because it is a single family home. But I would also be cautious about that as well. What I don't want you guys to get into, because as Chris and I were playing with this thing, one of the ones that we got was like safe home for your family. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Fair housing violation. So AI isn't smart enough to know what the laws are. So if you're going to click through this thing, you're like, oh, that sounds awesome. This, right? This one someone might get in an uproar about, but that's actually the type of home. It is a single family detached home. It's not a multifamily attached, but be careful if you're going to be selecting some of these things. Now, here's the second part. Like as we're going through post lead submission destination, you can either enter a URL. So here's a couple thoughts, guys. If you have your own lead capture page, send them. If you want to send them to your website, to all of your properties, send them there. If you are doing a custom search in a URL and you want to send them there. But just keep in mind, you need to have something set up to lead capture the people coming through, because this right here, this enter URL, there's no lead capture piece on here. It's going to send them. The second piece is, do you want to send them to a landing page? So your landing page pieces, that pops up. These are ones that you created inside of Command, okay? So these are your Command landing pages. Chris, what are your thoughts on this?
I was just going to say, I think, and those have to be created and published before you're even going to see them in this drop-down box.
Yeah, that's a great point. So check that out. So what Chris just said is, guys, if that's the route that you want to go, make sure you already have a landing page. right? We can't just go create a landing page after it's all been set up. That doesn't work. So either enter your URL, have that ready to go, or have this landing page set up. Your next thing that you want to do, so you type that in, then you set up
One
your
other
tag.
thing on the URL too, if you're utilizing the KW sites, we do have the forced registration that we can implement on our website, which basically if we send people to our website to view properties, you can have it to where it prompts them to sign up or sign in within 0 properties of viewing, 2 properties of viewing, 10 properties, or no properties. So that's another way that you can try to think about capturing leads as well.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, this is the thing. Capture the leads, right? The Learn More is going to have some stuff for you. It's going to do some lead capture. But then what can we do on the second set of things after we send them there? Because the Learn More is going to prompt them, give me your name, your phone number, your email. At least in this piece, right? At least on the meta universe. In the meta universe, when we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, it's going to ask for their name, their email, and their phone number. Then when you take them to the second piece, like what are you giving them to give some more information? Then tag them. This is important, guys. I think we overlook this. When you guys are doing online lead generation, we need to make sure that we have some kind of tag set up, because this is actually how you're going to communicate to people, right? So are you communicating to buyers? Are you communicating to sellers? Are you communicating like to whatever you're communicating to? Have those tags set up so that once they click on it, and that they get automatically tagged into your CRM. And when you're communicating and you're doing different things, you say search for everyone with this tag, and all those names pop up. So maybe it's home buyer Facebook, maybe it's listing Facebook, and then set them up on a smart plan, right? And again, to Chris's point, have the smart plan already created. Like you can't create it in here afterwards. So you already want to have this thing set up.
And there is smart plans already created for Facebook lead follow-ups, Instagram lead follow-ups that are already in the KW library that you may not even have to touch, or you just tweak a little bit to sound more like yourself.
Absolutely. So after we've created those things, you can see that they're not mandatory. What is mandatory though is our DBA. So we're going to select the DBA. I don't think I have one in here, so I'm just going to say this is my DBA for now. You can either include it or not include it, does not matter what you do, but then you proceed to the last step. They're like, everything looks great. Then you set your time. All right. If you want to change this program name, maybe you want to do that and say like, maybe put the date in there, like put it to where you're actually looking at what is happening in the different analytics. But going through, you set your time, you set your dollars. The dollar spent on this one's $8.33. I think that the minimum, there you go. It'll tell you that you're not hitting the minimum, and everything else looks great. It doesn't say like, looks awesome. $83 spend. That sounds outrageous to me, but I would assume that you would get some stuff. You put in your billing information, you hit purchase. Again, here's a slight preview of what you're going to see. It's not the exact house, but you can actually see it. Like these are the different things that we put in. Cool. So there's the first one. Chris, any other thoughts on the Facebook piece of things?
Well, I wanted to see if I could share my screen real quick. I do have, I know that we don't have, or I don't currently have an ad running, but I wanted to show what you can actually see as far as what's going on with people clicking on it and how it kind of looks different as far as the reporting aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me give you some power to share real quick. Cool. All right, man, rock and roll.
Sweet. So once you pay for the ad and submit it, it's then going to pop up into your programs on the left-hand side of that whole ad center right there. But you can go ahead and click into these programs or the ads that you've released, and you'll be able to start tracking and see what's going on. So you'll be able to see, they've kind of organized it a little easier to see if there's an issue with when you released it, why. So it'll tell you your order status, your ad status, your billing status. And then over on the right-hand side, you're going to have your start and your end date that you've selected, how much as far as what you've paid for. You can always come up here and cancel the program or the ad. So if you notice you're just not getting any involvement or anything on it or any traction, you can cancel it and try something different. You can also edit. And then at the very bottom here, though, that's what I wanted to go over is you'll be able to now track the clicks, how many people view it, the contacts, the cost per click, the cost per lead, and the CTR or the click-through rate. With that, though, I think they've really organized it and made it a lot easier and for us to understand versus the acronyms that they had in the previous So
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, this is big, right? And while Chris is just going through this because neither him nor I set up an ad to show you guys today, um, this is a big piece of this thing. And so this lives in your command and you'll be able to look at everything. So as Chris just showed you, like you'll be able to click on your ads that you're running. And then this screen that he's showing right now, these two are what pops up and you actually have all the analytics.
sweet.
Awesome. I'm going to go back.
Sorry to throw you off your game there.
No, you're good. You're good. Just want to make sure that I got it. Perfect. All right. So hit it, run it. Now we're rocking and rolling. So I'm going to hit leave site. We're going to go back to campaigns. Again, we're going to create a new campaign. Let's go paid ads. And let's talk about Google because I think Google's the exciting one, right? So we have the ability to either attract sellers or to attract buyers via Google paid ads. And so for anyone that has looked at anything with a paid ad is truly someone types in some keywords. And if those keywords hit, when they're Googling, they're going to pop up at the very top and they're going to read sponsored, right? Sponsored ad, sponsored ad. So let's go through and let's go to attract sellers via Google paid ads. So here we are again. And you see there's a lot less work to do in this one. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to pick up to 5 cities or zip codes. So for this, let's maybe go Arvada, Westminster, Lakewood, Golden, Wheat Ridge. Cool. So there's our 5. So we're allowed to have up to 5. Then when they click on it, they can either go to a URL or a landing page. So guys, we're talking about seller ads right now. I know some of you have HomeBot. What does it look like to run a Google ad and attach your HomeBot to it? What does it look like if you have another lead capturing? Because this one's important. You need to have lead capturing ability to run this type of ad because there is no lead capture. It's a Google page, right? This is what it looks like. It says ad. Someone types in some keywords, it pops up, your ad's in front of them, and they jump in and this is what they see. So let me show you guys this real quick. So let's go in here. I'm just going to go into Google and I'm going to go to Google search and let's go real estate for sale, Arvada. See these sponsored ads? This is what's going to pop up. So this is what we're paying for. So we're going through and you have My Agent Finder, you have Search Mile High Collective, Afford Colorado, Realtor.com, right? So as we're going through the search again, Agent Finder, Afford, Search, Home 303. This is the keywords that these guys have paid for. They paid for real estate for sale, Arvada, Colorado. And now they're searching. So this is what we are doing currently. And we chose Arvada, Westminster, Lakewood. So if we put those keywords in and these people live in these cities, this is where it's going to pop up. So you need to have some kind of lead capture attached to here, whether it's a landing page that you've created in Command, or you want to send them to a different URL. Now we get to define our keywords. So here's the first ad. So maybe I want home value. Maybe I want home for sale. Right? We're going through and these are the different things that we're adding. We have up to 10, I believe is what it is. So let's just keep going. So home value, home for sale. Chris, what else do we have?
Home value, home for sale. We'll do
Real estate.
can we put no, we don't want to put locations in there, do we?
You could put locations, but I think that might be a little extra, right? Because we're already doing Arvada, we're already doing Westminster, Lakewood, Golden, Wheat Ridge. So if someone hits home for sale and they put Arvada, we're still going to hit. If they put home for sale Broomfield and we didn't select Broomfield, as long as they're in this area, ours should still hit because we're paying for these keywords. So I wouldn't get that specific with it.
And what about like an under 700K or something like that, or under 500K? Is that too specific?
No, I think we could do that. So
What about real estate?
yeah, I got real estate in there. Yep.
Oh, good.
And so, guys, we're going through here and we're putting just this stuff in. You can go as many as you want. I don't see an issue with going big on this thing. The thing that what we have to keep in mind, though, is you need to be able to capture the information. However you're capturing information. Then you have these negative words. I don't think that we should be messing with the negative words. All right. So when we go into here, what a negative word would be like this, let's pretend for the sake of argument, because I don't think this really applies to us. If we were selling like glasses, right? If we were a glasses manufacturer and we were running a Google AdWord to sell prescription glasses, we might say exclude wine glasses so that wine glasses doesn't actually pop up. So those are the different things that we need to keep in mind as we're going through and doing some of these different things. So after we come up with all of these, and you guys can see, this is probably one of the biggest additions that they have created, is that we don't figure out much of the targeting anymore, right? We have very little targeting, and in the Google AdWords right here, they're actually creating everything else for us. So they are actually putting together everything that Google believes is necessary for us to get as many views as possible, which is huge. That's on both of these. You guys can see on Facebook, like that we didn't have to select first time home buyer. We didn't have to select mortgages. We didn't select any of that. We are trusting Facebook to help us be the #1 ranking company for real estate when it comes to getting leads. And in Google, it's very plug and play as well. Like we didn't have to do a lot. All we did was we picked our cities, we picked where we wanted to send these people, and then we did the ad details. Then we go to proceed. Oh, what did it beat me up for? Oh, I didn't select something.
Yeah, to touch on that, Charles, I think they've made
Yeah.
it now to the point where a lot of the work for this is going to be built around getting the landing page set up and getting how you're going to capture the leads set up and all the systems in place to follow up with these leads rather than building out the ad. I mean, it should, after doing this a couple of times, it should take us, just a few minutes to get an ad created if we already have everything in place.
Yeah, this is quick, right? Yeah, to Chris's point, if we did the front end work where we have our smart plan rocking and rolling and we already have our landing page set up, we're good. And again, if you guys are using third-party products, and I keep using HomeBot as the example, you guys are set. Like I might run a listing and a home evaluation ad, and I put that out there, and then people are going to give their info. They want to know what their home's worth. So if you have some kind of lead capture, some home evaluation tool, I would rock and roll and use it. Going through, this is the monthly budget. Guys, we're not going dollars per day. This is a monthly ad budget. So the minimum is $250, and that's going to run for 30 days. You have $500, $750, $1,000, $1,500. The maximum that we can go is $2,500. So if this is something that you're looking at doing, and Chris and I are going to run some ads today. We're going to run some new Meta ads, and we're going to run some Facebook or some Google ads. We're going to see kind of what some things do. So we're going to test pilot this for you guys so you guys can see what $250 does for us, because we're going to run it today. You're going to see what some Facebook ads does. I think Chris and I were talking like $150 is what we're going to do for a Facebook ad. I don't know how long we'll run it, maybe a week and a half, something. And we're going to see what the leads are kind of coming in and just kind of building from there. But this is the Google side. So to Chris's point, let's look at this. So if we were to dive in, here is, my production side of things. So this is one of those things that you might want to jump in with Chris and have a conversation with, like jump on Chris's schedule, so he can show you this entire process. But let's say that we were running an Arvada buyer ad. All right. So we're going through with that. And then so we went through for sale, active homes, new constructions. Let's take out foreclosures and short sales. Let's go to price. Maybe like Chris is like, when's it up like an under $500,000 ad? So we're going to do that. And you guys can see that like this is going to minimize more and more. We have a way inside of our CRM to make sure that like people who click on 3 of these, after they clicked on their 3rd one, it asks for their information before they can proceed any further. So if you don't have another lead capture source, and this is what you want to do, you want to funnel people to your website, right? So they're clicking through, here's the first one, like they click on it, they click on a second one, they click on a 3rd one, and then a pop-up goes up and it says, hey, to proceed, please put in the rest of your information. So it's that MOFR, right? We're getting them excited. They're getting some info. They're getting invested, and then they have to give us their info now.
Yeah, and that pop-up is also going to have, it does explain some of the benefits of what our sites have to offer and what we can give to them. So it's not just like, hey, sign up or sign in. It will have a whole list as well of information.
Yeah, and guys, this is exactly where it takes them if you go down this route, right? And it already says like your agent it's your site. So this is one of those ways that if you don't have a lead capture site, and depending on the ad that you're running, whether it's the Meta universe or it is Google, this is where you can send them. And we can set it up. Like Chris can show you guys how to set it up to where it is automatically capturing leads for you. So that is the Google piece of things. Now we have one more, right? And obviously there's a bunch of different pieces, but again, we go into create campaign, we go to paid ads. And through the paid ads, again, we just looked at the Meta Suite, obviously single listing, multiple images on one listing, multiple listings, non-listing if you want to do something like that. And so a non-listing to me would be like first time ad or first time home buyer credits, right? Running some kind of special like that. Attract sellers, attract buyers, recruiting. This is the Google AdWords, this one and this one, right? And then
one
we
thing
just
to note,
yep.
The blue and the orange bubbles there underneath, those are that say include Facebook lead form and uses your landing page lead form. Keep that in mind, because if it's the orange, it's not going to have that automatic Facebook lead form that pops up with first name, last name, phone number, and email. So you can see as you're putting that out at the beginning.
Yep, absolutely. So then let's check this out, guys. Let's go. I want to do maybe a seller again, or maybe I want to push my listing or attract buyers. So let's go look at buyers because we haven't touched buyers yet. So here it is, and you can see that this is going across Facebook as well as Google. All right, and so this is actually going to have images. Google AdWords don't have images attached to this. This one will, because again, this one is attaching to websites and different things to where on the right-hand side, as you're scrolling, you were seeing the ad actually pop up. So we're looking through this thing, and the very first, right, we're going to go through and we're touching Facebook. So we're going through Facebook. We have Absolute Home Group set up. We have our targeting. Again, we're going to go through and say, we're going to go postal code, or we're doing region at this point, right? So we're actually going through. So Colorado, boom, here we are. We're going to go through Colorado. I want my ads to go through a 15-mile radius of Colorado, which I think is pretty good. Or what you guys could do is target your database on one of these. This is where this one's important. I really like this feature because of this. Let's say that you guys are running these ads, right? We're running ads, we're getting religious about running ads, we're running ads, and we're getting all this data. Or we have a bunch of people inside of our database. All right, so either way, there's a lot of people inside of our database. What does it look like as we're tagging these people? And you can see like my tags look a little bit different because I got a lot of brokerages tagged. For some reason, I have a wife, which that tag will probably only go to one person. And as we're going through, there's unsubscribed tags, there's all kinds of things. But if you were to start tagging all these people, Facebook buyer, Facebook seller, and as these leads are coming in, you can actually run another ad that this ad is touching all those people with that tag. So let's say that you're running this first time home seller ad or home evaluation ad to where you're getting all these seller leads coming in. And these people are going back onto Google, they're going back onto Facebook, and your ad, a different type of ad of maybe a service that you're running, is now dropping in front of them again. So they already gave you their info because they thought something was interested. You were having conversation back and forth. Maybe it wasn't going anywhere. Then they're scrolling again. You throw another mofer in front of them. They pick up their phone and they see you again. And you're just constantly being viewed by these people. That's where this comes into effect. And I think this is a powerful tool that we've been sleeping on a little bit. Again, right, we're going through and we're building out the Facebook side of things. So here's the body of our text, our headline. And again, if we're just running buyer ads, rock and roll with this, like, and then select your image from your library. It does tell you like this is the minimum 1200 by 628 pixels. So again, to Chris's point, you already have to have a lot of these things pre-made and pre-created. So again, if we were to look through mine is, well, here you go. There's an open house one. So there's that. Here's the open house. I'm pushing the open house. I'm trying to attract buyers. I do enter my URL or my landing page. I have to put my DBA in again. I don't have a DBA attached. So there's my new DBA for now. I have to have that, proceed to checkout. And again, here it is. I have to go through and I have to select my budget. This one, again, you can do a daily spend. So if you just want a couple dollars, and it's going to go across the Meta universe, Facebook, and it's going to go across Google. And then here it is with Google, right? Stop searching, start living. And it's going to have your stuff all the way across both of these platforms. Put in your billing information, rock and roll.
Hey, real quick, Charles.
Yeah.
If you scroll up, one of the things that we did not have the functionality in the old ads was same day ads, which you'll notice there it says August 10th, and it is August 10th. We do actually have that ability now to try to release the ad on the same day.
Mm-hmm. Which
So
is huge, right? Because real estate agents are notoriously bad at planning. And so ultimately everyone gets everyone gets a listing, and today's Thursday and we're going on the market tomorrow. And oh my God, I need to get it on. Well, we have the ability to do that now. And so one of the big things around this, guys, is if you run an ad and it's successful and it tells Facebook that you actually know how to play nice in the sandbox and that your ads are compliant, then it's going to be a lot quicker, right? Like that's one of the things. It gets faster and faster and faster for your completion, the more money that you're spending over the course of time. It doesn't mean if you throw like $100 today that you're going to have priority. But if you spent, $20 a couple months ago, and then last week, and then the week prior, right? And it has a trend line of saying that you are doing different things correctly, you're going to get priority, and it's going to do that 24 hours. So great point, Chris. I like that, man. Awesome, guys. I know that we went quickly through this thing, which was, truly by design, because we wanted to show you guys these three features. What questions, if any, do you guys have as we kind of go through this process, as this thing just rolled out Monday?
Charles, does it take care of the special ad category for you?
Yeah, which is huge. Like guys, this is, I think, what they realized is that while it was pretty easy before, they made it even easier because a lot of real estate agents were like, I don't want to have to go figure out, I'm not a marketer, I don't want to have to go put in special ads category. Also that I'm looking for first time home buyers and people with, and so like, yeah, they're doing everything for us. So Facebook is literally working in this with us, and they have put in all of the parameters that we need to get our ad in front of as many people as possible for the lowest amount of money. So yes, absolutely. Great question, Diane.
I know you have another class scheduled.
Yeah.
Does it need to be on making the landing pages and making sure we do the lead capture portion of this?
Perfect. We can absolutely do that. What we were intending on doing is actually like the smart plan piece of it, like the end piece on like how to run it and then what the follow-up process. But yes, we can turn it into both pieces. We can absolutely do the before this and the after this. We were only going to do the after this piece, but yes, let's turn it into both. And that will be on the 22nd after I get back from Mega Camp, because Chris already told me, he said, Charles, there's a booth that you need to go visit because we're about to get the ability to do some special things with our websites that we didn't have the ability to do before. And so, yes, when I get back from Mega Camp, we will, on the 22nd, I think is when the next class is, we will absolutely do that.
Charles, can you go ahead and click on Facebook pages on the far left real quick? So if any of you are like me and you accidentally exit out of the prompt when you first go into the paid ads, this is how you can also connect just right here. If you click on Facebook pages and then you would hit link a Facebook page in the top right and get going through there. It'll pull you through back to the Meta Business World and Facebook where you'll have to log in. So make sure you know your login. But after you connect it and everything, it's pretty straightforward. It'll walk you through it all.
And then there it is. So there's the pages that I run. Absolute Home Growth, I think called Best Real Estate Career. Back in the day, I had this Charles Coleman single page as a real estate agent, and then Keller Williams Avenues page. So then you just select which one of those that you want to link. So yeah. I think Chris's smiles are because he's hearing the baby cry and it's his baby and it's not in his house. It's actually beside me.
I didn't hear anything. She seems quiet.
Yeah, good. I can hear the baby. What else, guys? What other questions can we answer? Was this helpful? Like, is anyone excited about this? Is anyone going to dive into this? Has anyone already jumped onto Chris's schedule because they're going to run this thing?
Love this.
Yeah. This is huge. Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Stacy.
On the Google side of things, running paid ads for Google, the sponsored ads and everything, keywords, I mean, are they giving, like, you can go on to like Google keyword, what do they call it? Google, to kind of figure out what
Keyword
keywords are
search. Yep.
They're not
Absolutely.
providing anything like that as part of this, right? You've got to figure that out ahead of time.
Yeah, as part of the Google AdWords piece, you get to pick your own. Right. You get to do all that. So Google isn't going through and giving you suggestions on at least this piece.
Right.
What I recommend is actually just Googling it. And what you're going to see is if you Google it, you're going to get two different sides of things. You're going to get companies trying to sell you the analytics. And then there's also going to be pages that are giving you free ones. So I was working with one of our agents the other day that got word of this coming out. They said, hey, I know you're teaching the class, but can we set something up? And so yesterday we actually did some Google AdWords, and I'll see if they're willing to like share what they did. But they did luxury. So they did a luxury side of things, and we actually Googled luxury keywords in, I think we just did luxury keywords, and it pulled up all the top ranking from their research, the Google keywords that are around luxury that hit hard. And so, yeah, I think you just go through and just think of you as a consumer, right? Real estate's going to hit, real estate, home evaluation, homes for sale. Like, these are the things that you want. And we just did that, right? Like, if we were to look again, just on, just in a Google screen, I'm going to go to actual Google. So if we were to go in here, and I would just say like homes for sale, just near me. And there it is again, right? Like, we're going through like realty.com, Zillow, Redfin, realtor.com, and you rank first. So I think that's kind of how you want to play, is maybe go through homes for sale in Arvada. There you go. So we're even seeing, like, if you get more specific with this thing, which might be better, if you get more specific, like, these are the keywords that it's hunting, like it's hunting all of those. So we can see that we're competing against, the Jordan Terrell Group, Vertical Home Group, David Weekly Homes, Realtor. And so I think this is interesting. So, every time I do this, and I need to, Chris and I are going to have to stop doing this class because it's going to start spending your guys' money. But I just spent all these guys' money right here ranking. And so we typed in this, we spent their money, and then like he'll even get even more spend, because I actually looked at this the other day. And so what Chris and I were just talking about, that's what he did. So we did Arvada Homes for Sale, and he actually is just sending it to the website. And this is the top producer in Colorado that is running this. And so guys, keep in mind, so this person that we're looking at, This is one of the top agents in all of Colorado. And this is how they're doing things. And all they're doing is they are sending, you can see that they set these filters, just like what we were talking about. They set minimum 150K, active homes only in Arvada, single family residence. Like they already just did this. They saved the search. And then you can see all up here, right? This is just their regular site. And then all this stuff on the side is the extras that they put in, and then they saved it to send it out here. And then if we were to click on anything, I'm assuming that it's there it goes, right? So it's actually asking us to force registration right then and there. And we have the ability to set this up. And again, that's why I'm saying, like, if you guys want to do it this way, which I think is a good way to do it, get on a phone call with Chris, and Chris will show you how to set up our sites for forced registration immediately. So you can see, and like, it's easy, sign in with Google, continue, and they make this thing super simple. They take away a lot of the friction points. What other questions do we have, guys?
Hey, Charles, can you explain a little bit more on how you can actually attach HomeBot as a landing page?
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
you mentioned a little bit.
Yeah, so your HomeBot, you actually have a landing page that you can actually fire off to people. So one of those things with that HomeBot is, with your paid subscription, you actually have the ability to send out for people to register to get information. So what I would do is I would actually take that landing page URL and I would attach it into my landing page here, and I would run a home evaluation. I would actually probably run it on Attract Sellers, probably in this box right here, so that it's going across Google, it's going across Instagram, it's going across Facebook. And then I would have some kind of photo attached to it. They click on it, and then it opens up, and it is a forced registration that says, find out how much your home is worth. Give us your address and your email and your name, and we'll give you all the info. And then, right, then you have all the good stuff, right? We could find the phone number later if we wanted to, but what we've seen from the agents that are running HomeBot is that people are actually engaging with it. They're going through, they're actually typing in their information. They're actually on it like daily, if not weekly. I would probably also maybe run it on the Attract Sellers. Maybe you don't want it on Facebook and Instagram, and maybe you want to just, like, people that are actually being more purposeful with Google, like keyword search, how much is my home worth? And you go in and you go to Attract Sellers, and again, it's just going to be that link. They click on it. As soon as they click on the Google page, it's going to open up that landing page, name, address, email, and then they give you all that, and they go right into your HomeBot account. Yeah, I think HomeBot's pretty powerful. I don't know what our new websites are going to give us the ability to. I know a lot of people have been asking for a home evaluation tool. I don't know if Chris has started anything on his calls. It'll be exciting if we get that ability into our next website iteration, but I can't guarantee it. But those that are using HomeBot or any other evaluation tools, like, that's how I would run it for now.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Awesome, everyone. Well, if there's no more questions, that was it. I think this is exciting. I would jump into this thing. I would start playing with it. I am really excited about this Google piece because, again, you have to keep in mind that the meta universe, it's stopping the scroll, right? It's just based off of what websites they've gone on. If they've gone to Zillow, if they've gone to realtor.com, if they've done all these different things, that's dropping an ad in front of them. And if people are in the mood, they're going to do it. And if they're not, they're going to move on. Google's different. Google is purposeful searches. People are actually Googling, how much is my home worth? Homes for sale in Arvada. And you have the ability to put yourself in front of them and actually rank and actually be seen. So this is big. Chris, any closing words?
No, I mean, I'm just super excited myself, and hopefully everyone else is as well, because this is huge. And it's only going to get better, I think, tying in the new updates to the sites once those come live. If when we hear more about that, I mean, I think it's all just it's all going in the right direction, especially, from where we were 2 years ago with paid ads. And now we have, I mean, the AI ability with Google ads and everything. So. Yep.
Awesome. Perfect, everyone. We super appreciate you spending the last 53 minutes with us on this Thursday morning. Have a great rest of your day, and let's run some ads and take some massive mind share. Thank you all.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.